have some effect on your brain, but then again, it could be a placebo effect. And first of all, that's Family Guy, not The Simpsons. At the same time, I know there's a lot of us that feel stuck financially and we want to reach a higher place in life. In my 30 plus years of living, I've never seen or felt such heat in any sort of summer. So this does speak a lot for what's happening and even food prices. But y'all remember those days when, the only stories we used to hear from our parents were the hard work they had to do or how long it took them to walk from this end to another end to get to school? Until the plane takes off, you're dealing with 100 plus different personalities.
Let's go. Oh, sorry. Oh, let's go.
Fear is of evil, man. Fear is of evil. This is the second time she popped up, and I feel like there's a higher power in what she has to say, and she seems like she knows what she's speaking of. What it do, my good people? Welcome back to the channel again. So, I got a quick question for y'all. Now that we're halfway into the year, basically, how y'all feeling about 2026? Because I'm feeling like something is just, not the same. A lot of things as the years are going by, it just does not feel the same. Or maybe I'm just getting old, or maybe it's really just me. I don't know. But either way, I want to give a shout out to every single one of y'all, my subscribers, man. Y'all keep the guy motivated. And to you, if you want to be featured in the video, just drop a comment down below and I got you. But hey, let's jump into this and see what other people are saying.
You gotta watch this one.
For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and they will lead many astray. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place. But the end is not yet, for nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are but the beginning of the birth pains. And then they will deliver you up to tribulation and put you to death. And you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will fall away and betray one another and hate one another. And many false prophets will arise and lead many astray. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. Then this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations. And then the end will come.
You know, there's no doubt about it. Jesus is coming back, and he's coming back sooner than we think. But we can be prepared. Some of you might not feel prepared, but you can be prepared. Give your lives fully over to the God who created you, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the living God who died and rose again 3 days later. And he wants to give you life and life abundantly. But living with Jesus is well worth it. God bless you. Follow for more Christian content just like this.
Couldn't say better myself, and this goes to anybody that's watching this and anybody that believes.
You gotta watch it.
Be careful if you're watching this on or before Monday, August 3rd, 2026. This is not random. This is the beginning of the biggest, most life-changing.
Wait. Before you start, it is August 3rd, so I hope this is not
day of your life. And if you skip this video, today could turn into the most disappointing day of your entire year, followed by a wave of missed opportunities I know you don't want.
Guess what, y'all? Guess what I'm gonna do, y'all?
How the fuck did The Simpsons predict this shit? Watch this carefully.
Carter, you've discovered the holy grail of modern medicine. Why the hell would you keep it buried like this?
I'll tell you why. Because there's far more money to be made in treating a disease than in curing it. Why cure someone of cancer in a day if we can treat them for a lifetime and bill them every step along the way? What? That's insane! What you're doing here is criminal, and I'm gonna tell the whole world about it. Is that right? Who's gonna believe you? The internet? You'll be just another nutjob left-wing blogger.
Now, was that not the exact same thing that this guy was trying to tell us before they took his podcast down? Watch.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, an amino acid, a substrate, a compound, an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a superhuman.
What supplement can I take? Don't end your sentence there, Gary.
So it's called L-theanine.
And then I came across this episode from Shark Tank that pretty much proved everything that guy was trying to say. Watch this.
We used a blend of natural caffeine plus L-theanine and B6 and B12 vitamins in each piece.
How long does it take to be effective?
5 to 10 minutes. People who try our product really love it.
Ryan, I gotta tell you, I am so friggin' hyper right now.
Yes, let's go!
So they were chewing on this stuff called NeuroGum. And this gum isn't just any kind of gum. It's got a unique blend of caffeine, L-theanine, and other B vitamins. When you start chewing on this shit, just be fucking ready because your brain is gonna be on 100. The best way I can describe it is like having a bunch of open tabs in your brain and just closing them off one by one. After chewing on this stuff for literally 5 to 10 minutes, I legit feel like I'm in that movie Limitless. Now, I will say the only issue with this stuff is everybody loves it and always talks about it, so it's always sold out. If you see an orange card down there, though, that means it's still in stock and you still have time to get some. How the fuck did...
That was a nice one. That was a nice one. I don't doubt that the product might have some effect on your brain, but then again, it could be a placebo effect. And first of all, that's Family Guy, not The Simpsons. So I don't know. I'm taking this for a grain of salt.
Okay, I know this is gonna sound absolutely batshit crazy, but after everything that The Simpsons have predicted over the years, I'm paying attention because there's a frame from a late 90s episode that people recently decoded using modern AI, and it pointed to one specific date in the summer of 2026. July 28th. And apparently this is tied to a massive financial shift. Not a crash, not chaos, but a wealth transfer for average Americans. And here's the strange part. Check this out. Videos about this are only being pushed to a small percentage of people right now on TikTok, which means if this landed on your screen, it's not random. So quick check. Have you been feeling pressure around money lately, like something needs to change? And have you had this weird sense that timing matters right now? Because that's exactly what others reported right before seeing this, including myself. And look, I'm not saying this guarantees anything, but I am saying I am not ignoring a potential window to make a serious amount of money, especially when opportunity tends to reward the people who move first. So here's what I'm doing. I'm leaning into this moment intentionally instead of just scrolling past it like everyone else. And if you're even slightly curious, comment ready down below and then go to my profile and watch the short video in my bio before this thing gets saturated, because once everyone knows, the edge disappears, and I'd much rather be early than kicking myself later for missing the boat.
Like, I get it that people want to help people out there to become better and do better with their lives, especially financially. And this guy is obviously some sort of guru. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of us that feel stuck financially and we want to reach a higher place in life. But I don't know, man. This economy is doing something to us.
Okay.
Here's what happened in the world in the last 24 hours. In Spain, thousands of people crossed the border of Morocco to take place at Spanish enclave of Ceuta. The U.S. forces launched strikes against Iran after Iran targeted U.S. force bases in Jordan. In Ukraine, a massive Russian attack of 70 missiles and 280 drones killed at least 8 people. In Egypt, a drone strike hits 2 gas vessels near the Suez Canal at Egypt's Damietta port. In Europe, France, Greece, and Spain fight with the wildfires as the temperature rises to 40 degrees Celsius with strong winds. In Japan, the number of deaths due to earthquake of 6.8 magnitude rises to 34. In the U.S., the father of a teenager boy sentenced to 15 years in jail after a high school shooting killed 4 people. In Congo, the number of deaths due to Ebola surpasses 1,500. In Pakistan, a blast at a coal mine kills at least 11 people, and dozens of people were reported missing. Here's what happened in the world.
I'm telling y'all, man, I don't know if it's because we have more access to the internet and stuff, but stranger and stranger things are happening year by year, man.
I need you to stop and actually listen for a second, because this is not fear-mongering, this is pattern recognition.
I'm not kidding. You don't have to hook into the grid, which is old and, could be taken out. If it's taken out, they wouldn't have any way to get any electricity.
2 days ago, they were talking about the grid going down. Just a day ago, we declared war. Now they're telling us Americans to prepare for outages. So let me ask you something. What happens when you suddenly wake up and there's no power? No TV, no radio, your phone won't turn on, you can't call your kids, you can't text your partner, you cannot find out what's going on in the world. At that point, the grid is absolutely useless, because the only thing that works outside is the sun. That's why everyone in my family has one of these, because it's a high power solar bank. It charges by the sun. As long as it's daylight, you can charge your phone. It has every single cord for basically any device. It has wireless charging, it has USB, USB-C, emergency flashlight, SOS light, it's shockproof, waterproof, and dustproof. It's even got a compass so you'll know where you are. Here's the part you need to hear right now. It's about half of what I paid for mine. I've already sold out a couple times this month. Every time the news ramps up, these disappear. I don't want to be the person that needs this and doesn't have it. I'd rather be the person that has it sitting in the drawer and never uses it. If you're seeing the link, grab one, because as soon as people panic, these will be gone. No amount of money will get you one overnight. The link's right there. Don't wait on this. I need you to stop it.
Well, as I said, every year that goes by, a lot of questionable things are happening. But hey, as she said, it's good to have things and not want them, and then not to have them and need them.
Actually listen.
In 2026, summer becomes the most intense and record-breaking hot season in U.S. history. Springfield is caught in relentless heat waves that refuse to fade. The temperature rises to extreme levels, causing roads to soften, thermometers to malfunction, and electric fans to stop working after being used nonstop. A television report flashes the date July 2026. At the same time in the real world, climate experts cautioned that this summer could shatter previous heat records across the country. Certain regions may see temperatures soar to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius. Major cities like Phoenix, Las Vegas, and parts of California face severe and risky conditions. Water shortages begin to spread. Air conditioning units break down, and power systems are pushed close to collapse. In Springfield, customers collapse inside supermarkets because of the suffocating heat. Medical centers become packed with patients suffering from dehydration and heat exhaustion. Food prices climb sharply, and beaches are closed because the sand is too hot to walk on. Even during the night, temperatures hover around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, making it nearly impossible to sleep. News outlets advise people to remain indoors, stay hydrated, and wait for rainfall. In 2026, summer becomes the most intense and record-breaking hot season in U.S. history. Springfield is caught in relentless heat waves that refuse to...
Man, as I'm saying, like, every year, something more drastic is happening. As I'm saying, in my 30-plus years of living, I've never seen or felt such heat in any sort of summer. So this does speak a lot for what's happening, and even food prices. The economy is getting harder and harder to be an average citizen.
Mom, Dad, how was it in the year 2026? To sum it all up, in case you missed it, a whole bunch of ticks been dropped off in the middle of nowhere. All these new ticks populations started coming out of nowhere and literally spread this disease where you can't even eat meat. On top of that, you have this brain bacteria that's been infiltrated within our water system, and especially rivers and ponds and whatnot. Yeah, which is highly dangerous and highly toxic. Then on top of that, you had people eating raw meat, people eating dead animals, and there was a concern about zombie apocalypse. Oh, wait, you thought I was done? Nah, apparently the aliens came to give us a little visit because, they were just bored and they just so happened to pick the year 2026. On top of that, we ended up experiencing a diarrhea parasite that causes you to dookie on yourself once you eat salad and a whole bunch of fruit. Oh yeah, one day we just walked out of our house and the whole sky was orange. Apparently it was been caused by a Canada fire. And not to mention there's a deadly chemical within that fire that if it gets in your bloodstream, you're done. The New York Knicks won the championship. Michael Jackson resurrected. The artist Drake dropped 3 albums. Kai Cenat, just out of a whole year hiatus, just decided, hey, let me start streaming again and come back with Streamer University Part 2. GTA 6, after 10-15 years, has finally came along and dropped a pre-order for the highly anticipated GTA 6. Love Island also became a massive national hit. Oh yeah, not to mention LaMelo Ball, John Morant, and Jaylen Brown, the best players on their team, just happily just got traded out of nowhere. Oh yeah, not to mention we dealt with the Hansa virus, the AKA the Hannah Montana virus, that just surprisingly just disappeared after 2 weeks. It just came in and it just went. Oh yeah, not to mention it's just been nothing but just swamp ass, over the last over the last few weeks. It's just complete unbearable hot weather. Like, this is one of the hottest recorded summers of all time that raised concerns of global warming. And that's. But another thing, apparently dipping pineapples in Kool-Aid became a new thing. Wow, that's amazing. Huh? So apparently, I don't know what server we're in. And they finally turned CERN off. So yeah, at this point, I don't even know what server we're in at this point, bro. This year has been one hell of a ride so far. So what else is next?
I don't think you want to ask that question, my brother. I don't think you want to ask what's next. But y'all remember those days when, the only stories we used to hear from our parents were the hard work they had to do or how long it took them to walk from this end to another end to get to school? Now we're in an era where everything is happening and we just can't keep up.
Mom?
Guys, tomorrow night is about to be the absolute final moment of the entire Artemis mission, and you need to make sure that you do not miss it. The capsule is going to hit the
Well, we are delayed, but hey, information is information, right?
Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, and it's going to drop down to 325 miles an hour in a matter of minutes. And then 11 different parachutes are all going to fire off one after another, and then they're going to splash down in the middle of the Pacific off San Diego at around 8:07 p.m. Eastern. During re-entry, though, there's going to be a moment where the capsule goes completely silent. The heat is actually going to create a wall of plasma that blocks every single signal back to Earth, and for several minutes, nobody's going to hear anything at all. And then, basically, the parachutes are just going to pop up on camera and then the signal will be back. That moment alone is going to be the most insane thing that we have ever been able to see. I have been here every single day since launch, covering every single update, every single photo, and every single moment of this entire mission. Tomorrow is about to be the last day. Make sure that you go ahead and add me now, because tomorrow night, this crew comes home. Guys, tomorrow...
Well, all I can say is that I hope they meet it home safe. I don't want to turn into no conspiracy theorist and talk about this whole thing. Mission complete.
Tomorrow night.
Baba Vanga died in 1996. She never wrote a single prediction down. She could barely read. She spoke in a dialect even her own country needed subtitles to understand. So how is it that 7 of her warnings for 2026 are already unfolding right now? On February 28, 2026, something happened in the Middle East that matched her words almost exactly. Then came the sightings over the North Sea. Then the volcano in Ethiopia that had been quiet for nearly 12,000 years. The list keeps growing. And the strangest part is what she reportedly said would happen next. Vangelia Pandeva Surcheva, the woman the world would later know as Baba Vanga, was born in Strumica, a place that was then part of the Ottoman Empire's Salonika Vilayet and is now in North Macedonia. Even the date of her birth is disputed. Some sources say January 31st, 1911, while academic research, especially the work of Galia Valchinova from the University of Toulouse, leans toward October 3rd, 1911. From the very beginning, her life carried uncertainty. She was born premature and so fragile that her family delayed naming her until they believed she might survive. A midwife asked strangers passing by for suggestions. The first name, Andromaha, was rejected. The second suggestion stayed. It became Vangelia in Bulgarian, a name that means bringer of good news. Her early years were marked by loss. Her father, Pando Surchev, was a policeman and also an activist in the Internal Macedonian Revolutionary Organization, or IMRO. Her mother, Paraskeva, died in childbirth when Vanga was only about 2 or 3 years old. Then the war pulled her father away too. He was conscripted into the Bulgarian army during the First World War, and little Vanga was left in the care of her stepmother, Tanka Georgieva. Tanka was remembered as one of the most beautiful women in Strumica, but she never formed a close bond with the child. Vanga grew up with 3 siblings, Vasil, Tomo, and Lyuba, who was also called Lyubka, and the family moved through hardship with very little comfort. Then came the event that changed everything. and turned a poor village girl into a legend. In 1923, when she was around 12, the family was living in Novo Selo. According to her niece and biographer Krasimira Stoyanova, writing in her 1989 book Vanga, the girl was outside with her cousins near a place called Anskata Chesma when the weather suddenly turned violent. The sky darkened. The wind became fierce enough to uproot trees, and somehow Vanga was said to have been lifted into the air and thrown into a nearby field. She was found 2 days later buried under branches, dirt, and stones, with sand and dust packed deep into her eyes. The pain was so severe that she could not even open them. That is the story most people know, but it is not. Baba Vanga died in
Man, I wish there was more to that story. I'm pretty sure some of y'all might know it, but I really am intrigued if she actually predicted those things. But hey, as I said, if you're a person that reads the Bible, man, these are things that are naturally supposed to happen. But there are people that have natural powers that can predict the future.
1996.
4,287 WestJet flight attendants walked off the job at 12:01 a.m. this morning and are currently on strike. Here's what you need to know. As of 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, WestJet has canceled over 600 flights. If you are a passenger who was booked on a WestJet flight that is now canceled, there is essentially two options. Option one is the airline gets you on another flight that is either a WestJet flight or a partner airline of theirs. The second option is if they can't meet that 48-hour window, they have to book you on the next available airline. So that could even be one of their competitors. But if you accept a refund at any point when your flight has been canceled, they are not going to be responsible for you. Unless it's like some sort of unique circumstance, like you're at a layover and your next flight has been canceled. Then they have to refund you and also get you on another flight. If you are unsure what to do, go to the Canadian Transport Agency website and familiarize yourself with all the laws. But just remember, for the most part, if you accept a refund, that means that WestJet is not going to be responsible for helping you find another flight. It's going to be on you. Last year, 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants went on strike in August as well. The federal government mandated those striking workers back to work before even the first day of the strike ended. That was extremely unpopular in the eyes of the general public, and the Liberal government was criticized heavily for it. However, the union defied the back-to-work order, and the strike ended up lasting about 3 days. We will have to see if the federal government steps in regarding this strike, but I kind of think they maybe won't, because that would be extremely unpopular politically. This strike is basically over the exact same things that the flight attendants at Air Canada were striking for last year. Flight attendants are doing hours of unpaid work when they are on the ground, and they want to be paid for that work. Now, WestJet is a privately owned company. We don't exactly know how profitable they are, but last year they sold a 25% stake in the company for $550 million US dollars. So we can assume that they're worth about 2.2 billion US. Anyways, if you are a traveler on this long weekend and you are booked on a WestJet flight, good luck. If your flight has been canceled, airports are saying do not come to the airport. Contact WestJet first and find out if they are rebooking you on another flight or what your situation is going to be. The people at the airport are not going to be able to help you. Good luck to everyone, good luck to the travelers, and good luck to the flight attendants.
Yeah, man, just imagine, having a job where you're at the job, you're not getting paid until the plane takes off. You're dealing with 100+ different personalities, and you don't know what can happen at any given point while you're up there in the air. And there's the maximum, I think, 4 of y'all? So I can see why people will get fed up to a certain point, because it is very hard work, and I commend them for fighting for what's right. Go WestJet.
It will go dark for 10 to 12 days. So I tell every person I...
She's talking about when the grid goes out, that everything will be dark for about 12 days. There'll be no power, no water, no nothing. You're going to be on your own. Now, yes, this is something that has been circulating through TikTok for years now, and this is sort of attached to the movie idea. And I used to believe that, that there was going to be a blackout, but things are moving so quickly right now, and the information is coming out, and all the corruption is being exposed so much that I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't believe that that's going to happen. There was a time when we had so much water and we had a ton of candles and things like that in preparation for this. And I'm talking about, this is going back like 3 years. I don't sense it. I don't feel it, and these people that are saying this, I think they're honestly just echo chambers of the past. I don't know if they're using their higher, their higher mind, their higher source, their intuition. My intuition changed. I felt that way. I really did, but I don't anymore. I don't believe there's going to be this blackout and all communications are going to go down, and then all of a sudden you're going to see an EBS that's going to play these reels for a day or two telling us exactly what happened, almost like a documentary. That's what it was before. I don't feel like that's what's going to happen now. I think that the transition is going to be more natural now. Now, also, what people were saying is that not only is there going to be a blackout, but when we come out of this blackout, everything's going to change. Well, what do you think is going to change? You think all of a sudden we're going to be in euphoria? Do you think that all of a sudden all the 3D people are going to be gone and everyone's going to be here in 5D? Because what follows that? And I don't think anyone has an answer. And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't believe in fight or flight, fear-mongering, or anything like that. And I was guilty of suggesting something like that years ago. I'm giving up on that. I don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think it needs to happen. Why would it need to happen? If you have a comment, or if you have information maybe that I'm not resourcing, using, then please let me know. But I want to know what you think. Do you think there's going to be a blackout? We've been hearing this for years now. I don't think it's going to happen. No offense to that creator, but I don't think it's going to happen. What say you? Grow with the flow.
I'm telling y'all, man, life is about perspective. Perspectives. How I see it is not how you're going to see it, but again, it's all the same thing.
It will go dark.
Ooh, at first, man, that was some magnificent stuff right there. But when I seen that wave coming at them, I was having a different perspective about that. But nonetheless, that was a beautiful piece of Mother Nature right there.
Ever there was a month to watch our world events news predictions, this month is it. All 4 viewers have a ton of corroboration this month, centering around, unfortunately, a theme of terrorism, possibly on the U.S. homeland. Lots of heavy data this month, my friends. I'm joined with Dick, Naeem, and Edward. Daz is going to send in his update later. He's on vacation. We're getting ready to jump into our sessions and review our data. Today's date, let me get a timestamp in here. It's Wednesday, June 24th, 2026, and our team is looking ahead at what will be trending in the news for July 2026. Dick, you had a very heavy month. I want to do a quick check-in with you. You kept sending me stuff, and you're feeling pretty confident. Talk to me about that.
Some of this stuff, Dennis, may be big enough to be over the horizon. Like it may be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months away. We've had that experience because we've been doing this for so many years. But I did that cover page, which will show you when we get into the debrief, where when I sat down, I went, I feel different about this one. This remote viewing felt, well, you'll see what I said. I actually wrote it down. So
yeah, there's a lot going on. Great sessions, though. Dick, thank you. Naeem, how are you feeling about your data this month?
Very sparse. It was very hard for me to do it this month. I was also
kind of dealing with a crazy migraine, but I went through it, got some concerning stuff, and it sounds like possibly some of the other guys got some matching stuff in terms of maybe the shooting event, I also got some stuff about like two leaders coming together, shaking hands, and it being a big deal. So a lot of different things this month.
Yeah, for sure. And then the points of corroboration, I think, are interesting, especially since you were dealing with all that stuff, and the corroborating points are what came through. I find that unique and significant. Naeem, thank you. Edward, you had some corroboration, some scary stuff, and you had some other information as well. How are you feeling about the month?
A little explosive, things like that. Some high energy aspects in there. But I also try to get some potentially oddly specific things in there too. So pretty well rounded, but from everything you're indicating, we got some corroboration happening.
Yeah, we sure do. But yeah, nice job branching out beyond, I think what's probably glowing out there right now for everybody too. Let's start with Dick and the much awaited session. I won't wait till the end to tease his out. Let's go through Dick's session first. Dick, you have the floor.
All right, here we go. So I felt so heavy about it before I sat down to do the session. I wrote this. Near future events, July 2026. This feels like we are approaching a pivot point where events start happening with greater intensity, faster. They start to create chain reaction type results, categories, natural weather earth events, human unrest, conflict, financial shifts, more of a shifting than a collapse. So here we go.
If ever there.
Man. I'm trying to see. I can't even see where this was posted from. This is just another person that posted it, but it was sounding real interesting. But then again, if you do speak of multiple things, trust me, at least one of them is bound to come true. I'm not saying that these guys are wrong. There are proclaimed remote viewers. I've never heard of that before, but certain things the last guy spoke about are things that are basically naturally happening. It's common sense.
Was 6 things just happened in the last 12 hours. And by the last one, you'll see how a Treasury official accidentally leaked a multi-billion-dollar secret. Trump just announced a tentative framework for Hamas disarmament tied to a broader roadmap for Gaza. Sounds like a breakthrough, except major implementation hurdles remain. This is a plan on paper, not a plan on the ground, yet. Meanwhile, a case that made headlines for the wrong reasons just got fixed. The Justice Department is dropping charges against Olympian David Hearn after admitting the damage to the Lincoln Memorial. Reflecting pool was actually caused by contractor work, not vandalism. He was blamed for something he didn't do. And out west, a decades-old system just got rewritten. The U.S. unveiled a brand new Colorado River water management plan after the old interstate agreement expired. California, Arizona, and Nevada are all facing new mandatory cuts. Millions of people's water just got more complicated. Back in Washington, Trump sat down with 2 of the most consequential leaders on earth right now, Volodymyr Zelensky and Benjamin Netanyahu, covering Iran, Gaza, and Ukraine in a single conversation. 3 wars, 1 room. And despite the ceasefire talk, the administration made something very clear. More military action against Iran is still on the table if the current truce collapses. This pause everyone keeps talking about, it has an expiration date. And finally, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent accidentally revealed something he probably shouldn't have. Plans for a $5 to $10 billion intervention to support the Japanese yen. Not announced. Not planned for release. Leaked, by accident, from the country's own Treasury Secretary. A tentative peace deal. A wrongly accused Olympian, cleared. And a multi-billion-dollar secret let slip by mistake. All in 12 hours. 6 things just...
And these are just the things that they're putting out there. Imagine what's behind the scenes, y'all.
Just happened in the...
July 20th to 22nd, 2026. 4444 portal. It's happening right now. there's gonna be 4 planets that are activating at 4 degrees. That's why it's called 4 activation. And it's going to be activating at 4 degrees. So you guys are going to feel energetic. There's a lot of shifts happening right now. You guys, most of you have been in transitions. There's been a lot going on. I'll go through the signs and what's happening. But right now, Jupiter expands everything, like your opportunities, and Uranus is for breaking through. Neptune, you have to follow your intuition, and Pluto is becoming like you're gonna become better of yourself. All this is happening right now. This is like a century. All these planets, they never aligned or activate at this 4 degrees in centuries. So you guys are going to feel energetic. There's a lot of shifts happening right now. So you're not crazy. Pluto is entering Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini after the 84 years. And also Neptune is also in Aries. Saturn in Aries. Jupiter entering Leo. So all these planets in the solar system are all aligning together with the Barbara Basket predictions. So he died before even he got to witness his prediction. So 444 portal, it's going to activate a lot of things around you. New blessings, new business ideas. You're going to be full of new ideas, creativity. You're going to be organized. People are going to start being organized and stable. It brings the stability after all this has been happening right now. So it's okay to start over if you're not sure about what step you're taking, or you can always listen to your intuition. Those who have been putting a lot of work, you're going to see results, because these planets, they are not playing around. It's your payback time. A lot of you guys have been healing automatic after all those transitions, after all the shifts been happening way back. Now things are trying to pick up the pace. Most of you are still don't know what's going on. You're like in a movie. You're like, what the hell? What's going on? Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of weird time. But most of you are gaining strength. Most of you are more focused. You don't even want to argue with anybody. You're focused. Like, you're full of energy. You sleep well. And some people, they have not yet to get to the new routine. It's time to pick up the pieces before it's too late. Don't settle for less, and don't get comfortable, because you guys, some of you, your minds are telling you stay. You're still in the same delusion. You need to free yourself. This is time for freedom. Things are falling apart right now. There's shifts happening one after another. So you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. And people are just like full of themselves. If you feel like you need boundary, come up with a boundary. You need yourself. Whatever you're doing right now, it matters. People have changed whereby they don't even smoke, they don't even drink. Bad habits are ended because they are changed. Like, they are being in transition. They are not the same people who have been doing the same things. No, they change. Times like this, I want you to cleanse your place, wear the colors you love and vibrate on high frequency, and make sure that you make fire. Try to light candles. There's a big change whereby people now, they feel like they are moving. Things are starting to pick up. They feel like they've been stuck, they've been stagnant for a while, but now things are changing. Times like this, it's time to manifest. Wake up at 3 a.m. and manifest 6 a.m. Take time to connect yourself with your ancestors. Most of you are already winners. So step into your powers. You always want to be, some of you are billionaires, and this is going to be your first time to step into that kind of power. It's overwhelming, ending cycles. There's a lot of things that are happening at one time. There's been a lot of activating the third eye. So those who want to have babies, you can have babies. It's time to step into your powers. I love you guys. July.
Fear is of evil, man. Fear is of evil. This was a lot of food for thought for anybody that's believing in themselves and want to do better and be better. I could not have said it better myself. Thank you, Auntie.
20.
Of darkness that people are walking around. It's Catholic prophecies. You know, the Catholics get some things right now and then. There are a few people in their midst who truly did love God, and they did receive visions of the Lord. Oh, it's an old recycled Catholic prophecy. It's not. The earth will go dark and will stay like that for a time period. And every Mahalalel ever invented will be out in the streets, knocking on the house door and sounding exactly like everything from your cats to your mom. Honey, let me in. Honey, let me in. You know that the government put a curfew for safety because this is the second day it's been dark. Mom, is that you? Yeah, I was coming from Nebraska. I got stuck. But Mom, we were calling you. I know, honey. My phone died. Why are you questioning me like this? It's me. Open the door. You open that door. And all the horror movies that people out there watch that I do not watch, you will live all the episodes in one. All of them. Quiet Place, World War Z, Quiet Place 2, whatever they're called. All of them that have come all the way from the Jeepers Creepers age into now, right? Annabelle of darkness that people are walking around.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We do let certain types of energies around us when we do participate in certain things that we do seem is innocent for the moment. But hey, there is some truth in that, man.
It's Catholic. Lord gave me, which I have to admit startled me, was Tartaria or Tartaria. Now, this Tartaria place is very much, I guess you would say that people believe it is like Atlantis, okay? I've never really, you know, there's only so many hours in a day and you have to be judicious with your time, which is why sometimes when I come here after giving a prophecy, that is basically telling people, please prepare your life, prepare your children, make sure that you don't have too many assets, make sure that if you do have too many assets, turn some of it into money, turn some of it into whatever it is that Dave Ramsey told you to turn it into, so that you can be prepared to live a better life when you leave this place. And then people will come here and be wondering, you said in the prophecy that God said this. Why do you think God said that? Ma'am, I don't care. I don't care. He said it. We only have so many hours in the day. There's so much to do. I find life to be so busy, and I have no one in my life right now, just me. And I can barely put things together for just me and manage this channel and manage my life. So the fact that you want to go that the Lord gave me, which I have to admit.
This is the second time she popped up, and I feel like there's a higher power in what she has to say, and she seems like she knows what she's speaking of, and I would not suggest she stops. You're doing the right thing. You're seeing higher than most people can.
Startled.
I never knew this was happening. I thought the only wildfires was happening in Canada. Hey, if anybody from Spokane, Washington is watching this, is this true?
Be careful on Tuesday. Be careful on Saturday.
Here's everything that happened in America in the last 12.
The veil is thinning. The spiritual world is mixing with our physical world. We're seeing more signs of the times, and the season of the last days is right here, right now. It's being lived out in front of us. Biblical prophecy is being fulfilled. Matthew 24 and Romans 1 and 2 Timothy 3. This is why so many Christians have been so just focused on preaching the end times, trying to give people a warning of what's to come. The end times is not the gospel. We know this. The Bible is 1/3 prophecy. Let me say that again. It's 1/3 prophecy. Jesus himself has an entire chapter he spoke on about the end times. At the same time, I don't support the narrative that a lot of Christians have of just preaching only on end times, because that's out of balance. However, ignoring end times preaching, ignoring the prophecies that are being fulfilled in front of us, is ignoring 1/3 of the Bible. And the urgency of why so many Christians are preaching about end times is also giving the gospel of Jesus Christ as the answer to the end of the world that's going to happen. And that little phrase, end of the world, I know it triggers a lot of people to be fearful and filled with anxiety, and they just don't feel like it's something that they want to think about because it's too negative. Instead, people are grabbing onto whatever they can to try to save the world from the evil to come. People are grabbing onto money. People are grabbing onto the hope that a president is going to save the world from the evil to come. People are grabbing onto policies and politics and all sorts of things, anything else but God. And to be honest, I think a lot of it really is to blame on our churches. Our churches have become so soft with preaching the whole counsel. The veil.
Hey, he was on to something. He was really preaching, man. But as I said, people, life is all about perspective. And for whoever digs deep enough understands, right, than most that just see things from the surface. My good people, so that's going to do it for this one, man. All I can say is try to live a good life. Try to live a pure life. Try to live a truthful life, because things are weird these days, man. Extremely weird. But either way, I want to thank every single one of y'all for tuning in to another video. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're watching this and not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Your boy's trying to reach that 1,000 before the year is done. All right, until another one. Doses.